Recording in progress.
Okay, I just got the information from the admin supporter saying that I can right now start this session by myself. So yeah, let's get started. So welcome everybody to this Rebuilding Tourism for the Future through Sustainable Development, topic. And I'm the session host. My name is Daniel Cheng. Together with me is Julia, Yue, and Melvin. They are distinguished speakers from both Taiwan and Singapore. So for the topic in this session is about the travel technology empowerment and some post-pandemic solutions of online travel agency, which is OTA. So in the very beginning, let me start from my presentation. And so after my presentation, they will be followed by Julia, and then Yue, and then Melvin. And finally, we will end this session with a panel discussion. So 4 of us are with some like travel technology background. But in the very beginning, I'm going to start sharing the contents from the very basic, practical experiences in a local area in Taiwan. So let me share my screen right now. Okay. So if all of you see my screen shared, please nod your head so that I can know Yeah, that's good. That's good. All right. So my topic is travel curation, and I'm going to talk about a new collaborative model between community, government, marketer, and tour operator. And of course, I'm going to share a little bit about those local travel elements. How would they be digitalized, and how would they be get online, through some technology and platform right now? In the very beginning, let me introduce a bit about RTM, my organization, Redefined Tourism Mixer. It's an association in Taiwan, started in 2014. In the very beginning, it was a community for travel startup companies and some entrepreneurs, young professionals. So we organized a lot of gathering, a lot of events and forums, workshops, etc. So after some time, when these startup companies get more mature, they would have different business need. So I start running some programs for education. So after the community of travel startups, we define ourselves as an industry know-how, as a think tank, as an educator for travel industry practitioners. So there are some keywords about our organization, including innovation, startup, internet, cultural sustainability, as well as some factors for you guys to know more about our organization. What we are doing is actually, apart from organizing events, we do education, in cooperation with the schools. We incubate some young talents and professionals, and we do a lot of like B2B PR marketing, and we try to bridge business and business for partnerships. So before the pandemic, we actually lead a lot of delegations to, different cities in different countries, to attend organization conventions or exhibitions. That was a beautiful time. So like this photo shows that in 2019, December, we had an international forum, which we invited, 20 something speakers from around like 13 different markets, in Asia. And so after that, we also had another, track of our business, since we think that the channels of the sales and marketing are not enough to define the core of the travel. We think the local contents and where to go, where to have fun, are more important, more meaningful for what we are doing in travel industry. So in 2017, actually, we started the other program in local areas in southern Taiwan. That is a county called Pingdong, okay, Pingdong County. So in central Pingdong, that was my hometown as well. That was a fishing village. We established another brand called Fish Forest. It's a cultural travel brand in this fishing village, devoting to sustainable tourism and local DIY experience product promotion. So I'm going to use this Fish Forest as the case study to get into the topic for today. All right, so what is travel curation? Okay, travel curation. Let's wait for the slide to come out. So travel curation is the term that's like created about 6 or 7 years ago. In Taiwan, there are like travel agency, travel group, and media talking about travel curation. So as what we know, curator is someone who organizes an exhibition. Curator is someone that might manage a display of many goods, many exhibits in a certain area. So that is a curation, original meaning. So when travel and curation combine together, what does that mean actually? So I'm gonna define, this term, travel curation. First of all, it's not only a itinerary, but a combination of tours, experiences, cultures, local participation, etc. So it's more like when we are doing a travel curation, it's more like an integrated marketing campaign that could finally lead to a commercialized tour products, and those tour products are profitable. There are some elements to describe travel curation, including location. So you must have a place, all right, and do the creation. So we must discover local elements and create new products, new experiences, and fusion. So it's not only a tourism product, it could be the tourism plus culture, tourism plus design, tourism plus local industry. There could be a fusion of many things all together, and then a combination, which is, stated in my first sentence. It's a combination of many things, and then we do this campaign, we run this product to be profitable. Okay, so accepted by the market, accepted by the local suppliers. So this is travel curation. And then in Pingtung County, okay, in this map, you can see in southern Taiwan, it's very close to the tropical area. On the central Pingtung, there is Da Peng Bay. Okay, it's a coastline. Well, there is a lagoon called Da Peng Bay. Surrounding lagoon, Da Peng Bay, there is Donggang Township. It's a harbor. And there is Linbian Township. It's a wetland. And there is also an island out of the Taiwan island. It's called Liuqiu, Xiaoliuqiu. Okay, it's 20 minutes by boat from Donggang Harbor and Da Peng Bay itself. So in our campaign, in our program, we try to combine all these 4 areas together to be a new brand called Biho, okay, Bay Island Harbor and Wetland, Biho, and in China, Xiaogan, okay, it's an acronym of each place name. Showing you some photos about this area. So from these photos, okay, so from these photos, you can see there are seafood. There are very beautiful scenery, snorkeling, scuba diving, sea areas. And there's also aquaculture, which is the fishing pool. So elements of all these places, we find there are 2 very important elements. One is fish. So we can see there are good seafood, and there is a fishing pool, and the other is water. Okay, so we can do a lot of water activities. And we try to diversify the elements into these 8 different smaller elements, which is community, travel, and we do the education for those local industry. We do many DIY experiences in Fish Village, and it's a Lohas lifestyle of happy and sustainability. And also we have very good food. We have aquacultural, local tradition, and water activities. So all these smaller elements also define Fish Forest brand. So we need to take advantage of these local elements to be our products. Okay. So for example, this is one of the very well accepted activities in our area, which is the crab fishing. So we use this very traditional bamboo tool to catch the crabfish with a fish line and a net in the end of the fish line. So we use the other fish body to be the bait, and then we can get the crabfish. So this is actually the memory of the local residents' childhood. It's a childhood memory. So they are doing this for fun, but they are very small, very young. But right now, we put it into the other experience and commercialize it into a product. So they could be purchased by guests. And then the other DIY for the fishes. So this is very famous exported fish in the local area. So where a lot of fishermen are feeding themselves by selling out this fish. So we use a DIY experience to make the tourists understand the local culture about the industry. And also we bring the people to the fishing pool to let them, feel what fishermen are feeling every day. When they are cleaning the fishing pool, it's originally their work, but actually we put it into the experience for other people, tourists, to have fun in their working environments. So this is also the other commercialized product. So all these examples are the travel curating, okay? So because of the limited time, I have to conclude about the travel curation. There are some SOP that we are doing. First of all, we try to find the components from local content and lifestyle to tourism components. So when we have these one spot components, we can combine them together to be the commercialized products. So they become the products. They could be sold, to the market. And then we need to set up the standard operation process for all these products to be repeatable and scalable. And after that, the product side has been completed. We have to do the digital marketing. All the contents go online and designated for promotions. And then when they are doing the marketing online, we also do the sales online. So we work with OTA and some tech channels so that all these products are not offline contents. So these could be seen, could be found, and could be bought online, through these OTA channels. And last but not least, we have to do the branding and repack these elements, these products, into the knowledge materials, so that all these materials could be exported to some other places in the city, in a school. So it becomes the IP, intellectual properties. So this is the working mode for travel curation. And for our Biho, Pingdong local areas, we have done all the process. So we come up with these promotional materials like a DM, a brochure, some posters to show the guests and the market consumers, like these are the things, are the products that you can bought and you can experience. And then follow our steps. You could also purchase our products online. So for example, one of the speakers today representing Razio is the PMS tool that we can use this tool to actually upload all the offline content to be the products. So you can clearly see there is the picture, the price, and when you click into it, there is a description of the whole product. So it's very clear, and it's all commercialized and digitalized. And also we work with KK Day, upload all these experiences online, so that through the online marketing, many consumers from the world can actually, see our products, not only in Chinese, but also in 3 to 4 other languages. And also for Lion Travel, which is the biggest travel group in Taiwan, we also had this collaboration with them so that they tag our products into their 3-day products. So one stop is in our places. So we help them. We become the supplier for Lion Travel, and they give us very high-end consumers. So it's a win-win cooperation with Lion Travel. So all these are the examples of what we are doing, and it's just small part of that, of travel curation. And actually, in the last part, I'm gonna share with you how to do a good travel curation. We need the collaborative model between these 4 players: community, government, marketer, and tour operator. So community represents local content. Government provides resources. Marketer make and discover and make products. And finally, we sell those products out through tour operator. So they become the channels. So community contents, what should we do? We should live a good life. Okay, so if you are part of the local environments and you are just living in a destination, you should live a good life. So your good life, your lifestyle become the sceneries of the tourists. Okay, so what we're used to in daily life will become those very important contents. So for government providing resources, they need to find an economic, pain points. They really need to understand what's very important and what's needed for the local business and try to support them. But many governments, they are doing things that they want. They are doing things for political purpose. That is not true. Okay, so in order to run this site, it's collaborative model. The local government, they should really understand what real needs of the local business. And the marketer representing products, they should explore, understand, discover, and finally create the real products with enough time. So I highlight enough time because for those local areas, you need to spend time and efforts to have that understanding and to have that, depth of exploration. And finally, you can come up with something that really could involve the local elements to be the commercialized products. And lastly, the tour operator representing channels, they need to have this mindset. They have this mission to educate the market about values of local lifestyles, because most of the tourists, they don't understand you, they don't know about you. They will not treasure the values of local lifestyle. So when they come to experience those products, they would use, some of their stereotype to judge the price, to judge the values, but that's not true. That's not right. So for the tour operators, education is very important. You're selling products, but you're at the same time also doing the education. Okay, so this is a new collaborative model. In the last slide that I want to share with you. This is the end of my presentation about travel curation. Later on, we are going to have a panel discussion to supplement some other information about this concept if you have the questions. All right, so that is my part. And I think we are now have 2 minutes delayed. So I'm gonna shift my part to Julia and let Julia to do the second presentation of this session. So Julia, are you ready for that?
Yes. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, can hear you very clear.
Great.
So you can share the screen right now.
Yes. Let me see. Sorry, one sec.
Sure.
I'm sorry, I think cannot share my screen during this meeting. Sorry, let me try a bit.
Okay.
I'm sorry, my Zoom settings saying that because of the recording that I was able to share my my keynotes at this point of time. I'm sorry.
Okay, so would you like to send me maybe the PDF of your file, and then I can share that file for you later on. And I would suggest to have maybe our next speaker, Yue, to start speaking first.
Yes, please. I'm sorry.
But Yue, have you been ready for presentation right now? Okay, seems like Yue is waiting for her own time. So maybe you can.
Hi,
Hi.
guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you very clearly.
Awesome. So should I start my part right now?
Yeah, you can start first.
Okay, perfect. So just give you guys a short introduction of myself. My name is Yu Wei. I work for a tech company called PhoneTrip. The company is founded in 2015 and provides ticketing solution for travel industry specifically. Our goal is to help travel service providers to be digitalized. So I think this is pretty much fits our topics today. And the founding members are from a government-owned research institute in Taiwan called ITRI. I'm not sure if you guys heard it or not, but it's located in Hsinchu, where I live right now. PhoneTrip is also a close partner of Krug, KKday, like Marvin, and the biggest travel OTAs in Taiwan called Lion Travel. And we also cooperate with other OTAs, especially in the tours and activity sector. And my job is to help our clients to sort out their operating procedure, especially for ticketing, and integrate our ticket system with their current ones smoothly. Now I'm going to share my screen with our product map so that you can better understand and what ticketing solution that we offer right now. Okay. I hope it works.
Yes.
Oh, perfect. So you guys can see my screen right now, right?
Yes.
Awesome. All right. So we are going to do a role play right now. So imagine that you are a staff of a theme park or museum, and you can use our cloud-based system to set up your ticket. Oops. Oh, I cannot play the second slide. Around. Oh, okay. So it's just some delay. All right.
Yeah, it has some delays.
Okay. So as you can see, in our cloud-based system, you can set up your ticket content, you can set up payments or price, etc. And after all those settings, you can decide which channel that you want to distribute your tickets. So we have this sort of channel manager for your tickets to distribute. So you can either choose to sell your tickets through our channel manager, either from B2B API, or we also have a B2B website that's linked to other OTAs. So you just simply upload your products here in this channel manager, and it can be sold like globally through all those partners. Or you can also choose to sell by yourself. So here you can see there are two channels. One is online sale, another one is on-site. So we also help our clients to build up a web store that you can sell tickets on your own. Or on-site, we have point of sales and kiosk that you can choose. It's also an on-site solution that we already integrate those well together. Okay, so no matter no matter your customers are FIT or groups, even though they purchase from different channels, online or offline, tickets are actually distributed and managed by a centralized system. Okay, and we support different format of tickets. It could be a QR code sent by email or a printed ticket with QR code. It also could be a credit card like ticket, such as your Metro card, My Rapid card, that can be used multiple times or multiple days. My slides is not showing right now.
It's okay.
Okay.
Just wait a few seconds. It's going quite slowly.
All right. Oh, okay. It shows up right now. And the next step, I'm talking about the validation right now. The validation procedure, we have two types of solution. So one is the light version one that you can just simply download an app and store on your smartphone. Or we have a web-based solution that you can redeem or validate your tickets through your laptop. If you want to minimize your staff's effort, you can choose the hardware solution here. So we have turnstiles and validation machines that you can choose from. It will be faster and minimize the effort of staff. So this journey is completed back to the ticketing module here, where you can manage your orders and check your finance and sales reports, of course. I have some pictures and videos that I can share with you. Okay, so this is the web store that we designed for our customers, not just the PC laptop version, but also mobile ones. And here is a short videos of how it works on our POS. I'm going to play this video. It is very simple. Just choose the type of ticket that customers want to purchase, choose the quantity, the payment methods, and the tickets will be printed out with QR code and receipts. So very straightforward. And another solution is Kiosk. So if you want your customers to purchase tickets by their own, you can also choose this type of solution. So pretty easy. Choose the language first, the tickets, the payment methods. Right, so the tickets and receipts will be printed out. All right, and the last step is validation. So just like I mentioned before, we have a light version that you can just download the app to for redemption, or we have several different machines that can be used to validating tickets as well. So I'm going to show you this video. This is the validation machine that we provide to the National Palace Museum in Taipei. So customers just scan their QR code, and once it's validated, they can enter the venues. Or you can just use the QR codes that sends to your email address to validate. Okay, and this one is the turnstiles that we already integrated with our software. And you might find it very familiar because this is very often used in the metro station. All right, that's the short introduction of my company and what I'm doing right now.
Thanks, Yue. So actually, we are supposed to leave some time for some questions from my side to you, right?
Right.
My first question to you is not on the question list, but actually, I'm quite curious, and I think this
I'm
is
not
important
surprised.
to.
I'm not surprised because
Okay,
you
but
always
this is
give a surprise.
So I think it's important to explain to other audiences today about your technology and the local areas, like what I just mentioned. What's the relations and how would you connect those local contents, offline contents, to a digital world through your technology?
Yeah, so it's actually very simple. So we have a cloud-based service. So our clients or those locals, they don't have to spend a lot of money, like huge amount of money to implement a ticketing system, or they don't even have to have MIS or in like tech guys to integrate all those stuff. So it's a bit like a SaaS service, software as a service. So everything is put in the cloud, and all those data are centralized. And the great thing is that the suppliers, the locals, they can choose what modules they want. So they don't have to have this total solution. They just need to choose what they need right now. And those digitalization can be implemented step by step or gradually, because we all know that digitalization or digital transformation is actually quite difficult for locals, especially they don't have this kind of knowledge. And a lot of them, they want to change, but they don't actually know how. And they are afraid of change, actually. They are afraid that it might change their procedure, or they need a lot of education, or they are afraid of making mistakes, actually. So that's why we provide several modules for them to choose from and see which one can be used, or like at that moment, which solution can be adopted as soon as possible and solve their problems.
Okay. So I'm gonna, because of the time limits, I'm gonna jump to my second question for you. So for PhoneTrip, your company, as a technology partner for a lot of OTA or travel groups, what did you see the changes of your company operation, or what did they come up with some new solutions after COVID-19 breakout last year?
Okay, so actually after COVID-19, there are already two pivots for PhoneTrip. So my colleagues worked very hard to jump into a domestic market last year, because we focus only on inbound market before COVID. And after almost 1 year of hard work, we found domestic market is way too competitive. I don't know if you agree or not, but I think, everyone knows that. So it leads us to the second pivot. So just like what I displayed previously, the ticketing solution for suppliers. So the feedbacks we heard from our suppliers so far are very positive. Let's see how it goes and if we can survive this time.
Okay. I think let's finish Yuwei's part here and shift to Julia again. So Julia, are you online? Hello, Julia. You there? Okay, so while waiting for Julia, maybe I will ask one more question for Yuwei, also of my curiosity. Oh, Julia is showing up. Okay. Or maybe I leave my question to the panel discussion later on, okay?
Sure, no problem.
All right, so thank you very much, Yuwei. Julia, hi, let me share my screen for you for your PDF file. Wait a moment. Okay. So Julia, did you see it? If yes, you can start talking. Oh, I need to unmute Julia first. All right.
Hi everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you. Apologize for the tech issue. It's glad to be invited to this great event, ICRTH 2021. And during, in the next 15 minutes, I'll briefly talk about my personal experience as an employee at a global OTA. So let's get started. Daniel, can you help me to go to the next slide, please?
Sure.
Thank you. So hello, 早安, apa kabar? I'm Julia Zhou from Taiwan, and I'm currently the market associate of Expedia, which is the account owner, or you can say the sales representative of hoteliers. And a brief introduction about myself. When I was in the third year of my college, I joined RTM as an intern. So that's how I founded my interest in travel and tourism industry. And 2 years later, when I graduated, I decided to join Expedia as my first job. So actually, I've been working with this company for almost 4 years. And during the 4 years time, I have 3 different sort of project experience. For example, managing the medium and long tail accounts. And the second is more BD wise, which is acquisition, to acquire more new properties to onboard them to our platform. And the third one, which is now I'm currently doing, is the account management for bigger size properties. And my current markets are Taoyuan, Hsinchu, and Miaoli. So Hsinchu, as you would mention, is now managed by me. Okay, so this is a brief introduction about myself. Okay, so here's the picture of the movie Inception, just to give you guys a bit of the idea that Taiwan has, we were lucky to be pretty safe during the past 1.5 years. But during the recent COVID spike in early May, we actually are following other countries' footsteps that we face a severe level of lockdown. Lots of hotels have received high percentage of cancellation. So as my current role, I'm assisting my hotel partners to survive. So basically, this is what we're doing at this point of time. Next slide, please. And just a very short personal experience about what I feel about the past 1.5 years is that the resilience is the most important thing for me as a young employee in this big industry. I'll give a brief example. During last year, I was managed by 4 different managers, 1 manager for each quarter. So every 3 months, due to the organization change, I try to manage to collaborate with different managers, the different managing style. And I face different new hotel partners. And also I have to form a new team within our own organization to collaborate with my teammates, both virtually or physically. And that's what I personally consider is the most important power for me to moving on, is to have a higher level of resilience. And moving on, I'll briefly talk about the OTA industry as my own observation. Daniel, next slide, please. Thank you. For me, I think at the end of the day, a technology company wants everyone to self-serve, to have a very smooth experience when they shop online, no matter it's to make a reservation, to ask for help, or to cancel or postpone their trip. Everything. They want everyone, no matter it's the customer or the hotel partners, to self-serve to get the best experience. So that comes to an important part of automation. Sorry, can please. So automation means we leverage we put high resource into the IT department. During this past period of time, during the lockdown of several countries, our company, no matter it's the reorg or we do reinvestment into our own product. We try to find our unique value proposition in the travel industry, which is we are one of the biggest travel online companies in the world. So we have our strong customer base, and we have strong partnership with no matter airlines or hotels or car rental companies. But what we want to do is to make sure that no matter what types of COVID it's at, no matter which stage you're in, then we can try to make the business running as usual. So this is one key message I want to share with you, is that I believe all the technology giants, they're trying to make their whole process to be very seamless, to make the automation. And moving on to the next slide is about Google. What does it have to do with Google? The second point is about traffic is getting more expensive. As we all know that Google has officially announced their intentions to phase out the support for third-party cookies by the end of 2022. And that means a lot to OTAs. For like Amazon or Booking.com and Expedia, where those top producers for Google's when it comes to advertisement. But if you simply imagine, what can we do now if the traffic is no longer there? And we have to spend more to attract more customers to view our website, to make a reservation. So it means that our cost is getting higher. And one great solution is to build your own loyalty customer. So I'll give you a brief example. Expedia has rebranded the brand Expedia.com in the US. And we have tried to renew our loyalty program by reviewing the point system, the rewards, and how you redeem your free trip next time. And another example is that we've heard from our competitor, Booking.com, that they've actually redefined the Booking Genius program. So for example, previously, if you want to become a Booking Genius 1 member, then you have to stay at least 2 nights to activate the membership. But now we've heard that this restriction has been removed. So basically, you register and you become their Booking Genius member. So lots of OTAs are trying to keep the customers at their own websites. And not to mention the mobile app. For example, in Taiwan, we can see the total production in Taiwan from mobile app and mobile web accounts for 70% of the total bookings, which means if a customer has already downloaded the app in their mobile phone, they will definitely open it again if they want to search for a booking idea for the next trip. So that which also helps us to keep the customers at our site. So this is the second point I want to mention, is that Google is taking a severe next step, and we're trying to prevent that from happening. Thank you, and please move on to the next slide, please. Okay, so Expedia is a one-stop shop for all of the bookings, no matter it's for flights, for hotels, cruise, car rentals, or even tours and activities. And recently, we've renamed our brand with the slogan, "It matters who you travel with." So not only when you book a hotel, but when you need to cancel it, we have a virtual agent, which means that you can simply by clicking the automated message to freely cancel your bookings. And also, you can buy an insurance to protect your trip. So this is what we called a one-stop shop. Because as you know, that no matter which products you're trying to look for, always come to Expedia. Please go to the next slide. Can you go to the next slide? Yes, okay. And another trend that we see during COVID is that vacation rental. Vacation rental is the top of mind when people think of getting getaway or staycation within your own city, but you want to get out of your home. So Vrbo, VRBO, is the brand of Expedia Group. And you can see this equivalent of Airbnb, which are doing a private home business. And during the past 1.5 years, we can see that Vrbo has highly produced to save our core OTAs when the business is down. And business in US or Australia, we can see a high demand for people looking for a verbal property. So this I want to share with you. I believe that moving forward, when people want to book a hotel or stay in a different place, they not only want to stay at a unified hotel, like a global chain hotel, but they also want to explore the different types of privacy and the single unit home for there to share with their loved ones, their family and close friends. So this is the trend of vacation rental. Next slide, please. Okay, and the third I want to talk about Expedia Group is that within this week, we have announced a very, very new org change, is that our executive board, our key 4 pillars fall into these 4 that you can see on the slides: Expedia Services, Expedia Brands, which is most about marketing and the brand. And third is Expedia Marketplace. And fourth is Expedia for Business. And I want to highlight the 4th. To give a brief introduction about our history, Expedia Group holds a wide range of brands portfolio like Expedia.com, Hotels.com, Orbit, Travelocity, Wodiv, Vrbo, Trivago, Agencia, you name it. So previously they were working as somehow like independent brands or independent sales team on managing them. But now we try to leverage all these resources together. So now, not only facing hotel partners, we call them partners, we also call affiliate partners our partners. Simply imagine if you're a travel agency and you want to book a hotel on behalf of your guest, but you have no direct contract with the hotel, then what can you do? You try to ask the hotel to give you a special deal, or you can visit Expedia Partner Solution site, which we call EPS, to book a hotel via Expedia. So this is what we call the partnership within different suppliers and affiliate partners. And now we combine the supplier platform and the affiliate platform into one single business unit, which is we call Expedia for Business. So I personally have good faith in this, and I look forward to what is going to evolve next. So the third point is business, business, business. Next slide, please. Okay, so here's just a brief screenshot of what I just mentioned, that Expedia Partner Solutions welcome all types of partners to join our ecosystem and to book whatever you want on our site. Next slide, please. Okay, so above is the business part. And now I want to share a brief experience summary of what I've been to in the past few months. So you can see at the right-hand side, of course, we make online meetings with our APAC VP. And now we can also enjoy some mental health workshop virtually. So you can see at the left-hand side, there's a baby. Reason being that during the recent lockdown, all the kids cannot go to school and they have to stay home. And the baby joins our daily huddle time. So just want to share with you that Expedia is a great company that allows all the employees to keep their mental health and to find the most suitable way to work from home. And at the left bottom is, you can see lots of candles. So in early April, when we're still able to work physically at the office, then we held a workshop that we made handmade candles together. So it's like a stress releasing workshop to keep our mental healthy. Next slide, please. This is the last page of what I want to share. I want to talk about the inclusion and diversity part. I know this is not solely related to OTA industry, but that's what supported me during the past year, is that Expedia has a strong belief in diversity and inclusion. So not only the gender balance, the LGBTQIA, the accessibility, etc. So in the photos, you can see that we held a women employees panel discussion. So I was the moderator, just like what Daniel did right now. And the 4 panelists, they are all female leaders in our Taipei office. And they shared about what they think about the company, the industry, and the future of OTA. And what I want to share with you is, I know this is a hard time for everyone, and I'm not so sure about what you need at this moment because during different type of restriction, but I do wish that everyone can find your support, to find your ally. So personal connection and relationships is the key for me. And I hope you can find your own resource to stay strong, stay safe. I think the next slide would be the end of my slide. Yes, thank you. That's it. Hand over to Daniel. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Julia, for your wonderful presentation. Okay, so let's move on to our last speaker today. Melvin, I think you are on mute already. Yes, that's good. So please, yeah, feel free to share your screen.
Sure, I'm going to share my screen right now. Hang on a moment, please. Okay. I hope you guys can see my screen right now.
Yes, yes, clear.
Okay, great. Well, good morning, everyone. Selamat pagi. 早安，你好. Once again, thank you very much for ICRTH to the organizing committee to actually invite us for this event. Likewise, Daniel, and for inviting us for this event as well, to share about what are some of the game-changing technology and trends for the tours activities industries after this pandemic. So just a very brief introduction about myself. So my name is Melvin. So I'm actually from Rizio, or one of the business units under KKday. So I have more than 15 years of experience. Started off my career in the hospitality industry, which is very familiar with a lot of you in Sarawak, which is Genting International, which is now rebranded as Resorts World Genting. Thereafter, I joined Four Seasons and subsequently another company called Avia Reps. Move on to the Walt Disney company, which was something very different as well, where I spent a short period of time over there and stepped into the world of digital, where I was heading the South and Southeast Asia office for Travel Zoo, before I moved to Klook. And now I'm actually with their competitor, which is the leading tours and activities travel e-commerce platform, where I'm leading the efforts to expand their business in Southeast Asia, diversifying their distribution channels, and also to support the travel industry to digitalize the business through our dynamic travel SaaS system called Rizio, which I'll share with you shortly. And so basically, in a nutshell, I believe that I'm one of the few people in the industry who have been through almost all the different segments of the tourism industry. But in any case, just to share with you a little bit about KKday as an organization. So KKday is our parent company. So we have 4 key business units. The first one being the Asia leading B2C travel e-commerce platform, which is kkday.com. We have the second one, which is the B2B site, where we are able to have all the different kind of tours and activities that we can actually resell it to the different travel agents, hotels, airlines, etc. The third one would be Rizio, which is the Asia's leading booking management platform, which I'll be sharing with you a little bit more on what we can do in this post-pandemic world. And last but not least is our last business key unit, which is Fine Day, a B2C travel e-commerce platform that is specially catered to the luxury market. So who is Rizio and what is our mission? So Rizio, we are here to actually help the tours and activities suppliers to sell more in an efficient and effective way. So when we look at tours and activity suppliers, who are these people? So with the likes of the skydiving activities, the air sports, the air activities, the land sports. So it could be transportations, it could be inbound travel agents, or down under, which is the sea sports, which could be the diving activities, the yachting activities, the sailing activities. So all these will be categorized under the tours and activities sites, and we want to be able to help them to digitalize the business and make it more efficient. So as we speak with a lot of such companies and a lot of our partners, we realize that they are actually having a lot of such pain points. And I believe that you see a lot in the Malaysian market as well, where a lot of these companies may not currently actually have a website, a booking engine, or even if they actually have a website, currently right now, their website shows a contact us form. So what that means is that when a customer actually wants to make any booking, they'll key in the information on the contact us form, and there will be a lot of to and fro communication. So what we are trying to do is to address this pain point to be able to get their business to sell online to the B2C customers, eliminating all this kind of operational problems, be it in terms of the manual process of taking in booking, the manual process of uploading to ensure that you do not get into an overbooked situation. You are able to have a platform to be able to sell online. And yet, this platform would also enable you to be able to do channel distribution, which means that you're able to have your product to be distributed to the various online travel agencies as well. So this is what we're trying to do to see how we can address some of the pain points. So Rezio, it is like what I shared with you earlier, it is a travel SaaS software. So we enable our suppliers to be able to sell online. With the dashboard, the backend system, they would be able to manage the bookings on their end, as well as distributing worldwide. Our technology, which is the state-of-the-art technology, allows our suppliers to be able to have a website so that they are able to sell online directly to the B2C consumer market. So in this current environment, in this pandemic, where a lot of travel companies are actually being hit by it. So what we want to be able to do is to be able to empower them to be able to start by selling their tours, their activities online to the domestic market by getting them online. So when they start to look at how they want to manage their inventory and distribute better, they would be able to use our dashboard to manage the inventory. So let's say, for example, if one day you would only be able to have 10 slots for this specific timing. So the Rezio technology enables you to be able to sell to the B2C, to the OTAs, to your B2B as well, which means that if there's one booking on your direct website, the rest of the other channels would show as one lesser, which means from 10, it will be -1, you'll be left with 9. So for those who are familiar with the hotel industry, which currently right now, there is already a channel manager for the hotel industry, like a SiteMinder. Rezio is basically like the SiteMinder for the tours and activities industry. So we are a channel manager for the tours and activities sites. So with that, the supplier would also be able to customize their voucher, which means that when a customer actually book directly online with them, they would be able to actually have a voucher that shows the company's name as well as address, so that there is more customization when the customer receives the kind of vouchers that with a QR code. So by having the technology itself, you don't have to worry about the API set because Rezio will settle that for you. And you do not actually have to worry about when you want to scale up to the next level, because using the same technology, you would be able to distribute your product, which could be your skydiving spots or your water activity spots, to your travel agents, to your corporate, as well as to any of your partners or travel agents who may want to buy this particular product from you. So with this solution, it enables you to go from a very traditional kind of travel agent retail business or tour and activity retail business to an online basis, making you ready for the new future after this pandemic. So you do not have to worry about technical support because we actually have a very great team that will be able to support you 24/7. So this is an example of our dashboard As you can see from the back end system dashboard, you would be able to upload your own images, your product, your prices, so that you will be able to sell online directly to the B2C customers. It may look complicated for you, for most of you who are actually using it for the first time, but just to share with you that a new user who is using this system may take, a person who do not know about IT, may take a maximum of 2 hours to upload one product. For those who are very IT savvy, who knows how to play around with the technology, the system itself, it will probably take you just 15 minutes to just upload one product, and you get faster and faster. But not to worry, you do not have to be intimidated by this. Our technical support will be on hand to be able to support you, to ensure that you are able to upload your product and guide you through the whole process to make sure that you're able to sell online directly to your B2C customers. So this is what you see on the back end system, where you can clearly see the definition of our backend system, where you are able to choose Monday to Friday one rate, Saturday to Sunday a different rate, different timing, in the daytime one rate, and in the nighttime possibly another rate as well. You can further define to adult, child, senior. So which is why for us, some people also call us the Shopify for the travel industry, where we enable people to be able to sell online with very clear, definitive segments for every kind of category that they want to create. So this is the back end system, and just want to share with you the front end system on how it looks like. You can see that on the interface, it looks so nice with the user interface as well as experience. You look at it, if you like this particular product, you click on book now. You can select the date and time. Once you have selected the date and time, you can see that there's all the different timings over here that you can select. Choose the number of people. At the back end, as a supplier, you can set the minimum or the maximum counts for that. The traveler will then actually have to fill in the information, and they can choose to make payment on the online basis. So that's how it looks on the front end side. So just to explain a little bit in terms of the current flow right now in a pre-pandemic world. Most of the suppliers right now in the developing countries, they are actually in the midst of trying to digitalize themselves. However, what they do in terms of the tours and activities side, they are good at what they are doing to run their own tours, which is why when they are doing any kind of distributing of their products, you can see from this workflow, they are selling to B2C, probably using a website, email, by phone call, by fax, etc. Or they will be the same case for the corporate client as well. And again, for the B2B agent. For the OTA, then they will reach out to the various OTA partners to engage them to get their products to the OTA so that they can actually start to sell and distribute their products. But the problem here lies in, if I actually have a fixed number of inventory, and if I'm taking in booking from the other side, how would I be able to manage everything on my end? So which is where Rezio comes in to see how we can support. With Rezio, we help the supplier to be able to manage their inventory, manage the prices, so that when we actually look at in terms of distributing to the various channels, be it on the B2C, corporate, B2B, OTA, there is a very nice seamless flow where now the supplier would be able to use Rezio as a digital management tool to distribute their products in the new world, in the post-pandemic era. So that is the workflow that we want to be able to empower our supplier to be able to do that. And some of the key benefits that we want to be able to do is to ensure that they are able to secure every booking. We are able to help them to save a lot of time, money, and money as well, because in this current situation where a lot of the travel companies are actually suffering with no international travel, and they probably have actually put a lot of staff on furlough, or probably they are restarting their business again. So money or cost is an issue. So by using Rezio, it actually enables them to scale up to do it on a digital front where previously they might need 10 staff to manage all their bookings. But right now, using 1 or 2 staff, using a system-based process, they are able to scale up and potentially reach where they could actually be pre-pandemic, before the pandemic happened. So this will actually enable them to increase more revenue as well, because they are now able to take in 24/7 online bookings. And on this end as well, with that booking platform, it is mobile friendly, which means that the customers would be able to book on the smartphone anytime. So these are some of the happy customers that we have already signed up and work very closely with them. And at this point of time, at the global stage, we are already present in more than 300 locations with 500 suppliers worldwide. There are in total 13,000 experiences in our portfolio, and we are currently serving more than 300,000 tourists as well. So we strongly encourage the partners in Sarawak, in Malaysia, to be able to see how we would be able to support you in your digitalization of your business, how we can get you ready, or if not, support you in your domestic sales before we look at the international sales in the near future. So once again, my name is Melvin. Please feel free to use this QR code to sign up if you wish to actually try it out. But in any case, thank you very much again for this sharing session.
Thank you, Melvin, for the well-prepared presentation. So now we have 20 minutes left, which is well controlled in time. I would like to welcome 3 of the speakers, including myself, to join the panel discussion. While all the guests you're welcome to leave your question in the message. Okay, so you leave the message and then we take a look and we'll try to answer you accordingly. All right, so in the panel discussion, my first question would be for Julia and Yuwei. Okay, so what are the biggest opportunities for global OTAs and tech practitioners under border lockdown right now? Okay, biggest opportunities. So maybe I would like to ask Yuwei to answer this question first.
Okay, I think Julia just mentioned that Taiwan is actually quite lucky that we never had to sort of lock down until this month. So before this month, there are actually a lot of attractions are packed with tourists since last June. And during the weekends, popular attractions were full and packed with people. If you want to take a boat to offshore islands such as Xiaoliuqiu, prepare yourself to queue for 1 hour to get on boat. Imagine yourself waiting 1 hour under the scorching sun. And the air is so humid and the temperature is around 38 degrees Celsius. So everyone gets so upset. So when there is an unhappy customer, then there's an opportunity. So in order to solve this problem, boat operators and other popular attractions, they are seeking for solutions to reduce waiting time and make the boarding experiences more smoothly. However, because of a lockdown since this month, I believe when the venues are reopened, travelers will be back, but probably not as many as previous. And they will definitely be more cautious about touch or contact. So another opportunity for OTA and tech companies is that business who can provide a safe, contactless environment can win the customer's trust. That is the biggest opportunity, I think, right now, especially under the lockdown situation.
Okay, thank you. How about Julia?
Okay, I think I have 2 points to share. One is the service provider, and the second is travel bubble. So talk about the first one. During the lockdown, lots of hotels, they have to be closed temporarily or permanently, or
they turn into quarantine hotel per government's advice. So they have nothing to, they can do nothing. And we can help them to contact the guest or handle the cancellation process. So give you a brief idea that lots of hotels, they started to get their employees to take leaves, no matter it's paid or unpaid. So you can imagine if one reservation staff is on duty and he or she has to deal with all the cancellation, it's insane. So as a platform, we still have our ability to help them contact the guests. For example, we have a message center at our intranet. So the hoteliers can send a customized message to the guest automatically. So this is what we can do to help them to do the cancellation or guest contact information. And the second part is travel bubble. I know Taiwan is now still being locked down, but let's imagine that if one day we can soon open our borders, then you can imagine like the travel bubble between Singapore and Hong Kong, or between Australia and New Zealand, then it would gradually take place, right? And as a DMO, a destination marketing organization like a tourism bureau, what would they do? They would, of course, try to get exposure at other countries. So welcome to Taiwan, we're a good island, we're safe now. So Expedia at that point of time will be the channel for marketing and sales. So that's the opportunity we see.
Okay, thank you, Julia. Actually, this question would be also for Melvin, but I want to ask in a different way. Since the three of us are from Taiwan, our experience the past 1 year is that, like what you were said, you know, we were lucky that very little cases in Taiwan. And so since last June, we already entered a, I would say, open situation, you know, the tourists, for the suppliers, for all the travel players to, you know, do business, you know, in the same way. Okay, until this month, we start, you know, our lockdown. We start learning, you know, how to cope with the pandemic in a severe situation. So my question for you is also the opportunity for OTA, like, you know, KKday, and tech practitioner like yourself under both lockdown. But I want to have more information about the Singapore experience from last year until this year. Did the government, how will business side to, from very severe situation to now it's like well controlled? So what's your thoughts, Melvin?
So just to clarify the questions, I think because there was some lag in terms of the internet. So would the question be in terms of what would be some of the business opportunity for the in the travel tech world, or would you be able to repeat the question again?
Okay, same question, but I want to ask for the Singapore experience, Singapore perspective, since you are based there.
Right. So I guess in terms of the opportunities for the OTAs in this region, right? If you look at Singapore and Malaysia, I think for the Malaysia side, there has been quite a lot of constant MCO, which is the lockdowns that's happening in Malaysia. Singapore, we are just going into the phase 2, which is also like a partial, almost lockdown. We call it the circuit breaker in our region. I think it is really for the online travel agents to be able to reinvent themselves, to position it correctly. I guess basically on the easiest way for OTA is to be able to just get our suppliers' product, put on the online travel portal, and then resell to the customers. And basically, that is just a commodity. So at KKday, what we do is very different, where we know that one of the key core difference for us is curating our signature experiences, which is our KKday signature tours. So we go on our own, we get the team involved to be able to create all the different kind of local experiences so that we are able to get the customers in this region engaged. So some of the key things that we have done in this part of the world is that we actually had a glamping at the River Safari Wildlife Resort, where we actually do a campaign together with them, did the glamping at the zoo at the River Safari, and that product was actually sold out within 2 hours, and that was in December. Similarly, we launched it again in March this year, and it was sold out again within 2 hours. So then we look at it, what else can we do differently? Where we know that during the Chinese New Year period, some people may like to go to Taiwan to fang tianteng, like those kind of lanterns, to wish for prosperity. So what we did is to be able to bring this experience on the virtual front to our audience in Singapore and Malaysia. So which means that our customers from Malaysia would be able to book from the KKday site, write a message, and then send it over to us, buy the virtual tour, send it over to us, and we will have somebody who will write the message on the lantern itself and release it on a live Zoom meeting together with our customers. So we kind of bring this kind of curated live experiences to make it more friendly for our site. So in a nutshell, basically what we want to do is to be able to continue to give the kind of curated experiences to benefit our customers in this region, and this is how we actually re-innovate ourselves.
Okay, thank you, Melvin. Since we have limited time, I want our speakers to answer the audience questions first prior to my question. So there is a Michael McCrish question for all speakers. Do any of the speakers and their respective platforms have existing or potential policies or programs to mitigate over-tourism, okay, in form of encouraging products to under visited areas and during non-peak travel seasons times? So any policies or programs or new solutions to mitigate over-tourism problems? Any one of you would like to answer this question?
I can take this one.
Okay, sure.
I have two thoughts. The first is it's a supply and demand thing. So as a platform, we definitely have to follow where the demand comes, right? So if a tourist place is very in high demand, then sometimes we have very limited hotel inventory, or the price is really high. So which cause the customers to look for other tourist destination. So this I think it's the market system. And the second thought is about what I just mentioned, like the travel bubble thing. So in Expedia, we have a team called Media Solutions, which is to provide marketing solutions to all partners. For example, you can bid for a specific banner at the right top of the sort ranking page. Or let's say Taiwan Tourism Board would like to invite all foreigners to come to Taiwan in the low season. So we can help them to achieve that. So I think it really starts with the demand.
Okay. Any other thoughts about this question?
I think on my end, I'll put it into two parts in terms of KKday and Visio, right? On the KKday side, we could definitely be able to do a lot of things. Like what I shared with you earlier, is about creating the kind of local experiences. And we want to be able to deliver this kind of authentic local experiences, not just to the international community, and also as well as to the domestic community, which is why in Taiwan, we have had many different kind of local experiences where many people in the Taiwan community may not even have visited, which is why by having these kind of experiences that is in the non-city areas, that kind of brings people out of the city to just experience the outskirts of the different parts of the country. I guess it goes the same for Hong Kong. It goes the same for us in different parts of Southeast Asia as well. And that's what we try to do as a KKday company. Then on the Visio side, where we know that within this suppliers that is within these remote cities where they do not actually have the capacity to be able to sell to different travel agents or sell online. That's where Rezio can come in to support them to be able to have them to upload the products so that they can start to sell online, which means that they are able to target to a wider variety of community, leveraging on this platform, which they would then be able to do a better marketing on the domestic as well as on the international front through our channel manager solutions.
Okay. There is another question for Melbourne, especially how do you convince suppliers to work together with your site? Let's say the suppliers are about the rural communities who attend to promote their local products to the world.
Well, thank you. Sharon had this question, right? So thank you, Sharon, for having this question. I think the key thing is always about education. How are we able to get these people to really understand how are we able to help them in the new world? Because there are a lot of people who may be resistant to change, and it's all about having the kind of traditional sales where people will actually use the phone calls to make bookings as well as going to the shops to make bookings. So you can still retain that, but yet you need to be able to innovate to be able to get ready for what is going to be for the new world. And this is all about what we call it as sustainability. You need to be able to build a sustainable business so that you are being up to trend with what you are within that environment for the years to come in the future. So with our technology itself, we empower them to be ready for what's going to happen in the near future. And that's where we constantly have to be able to educate them. And how do we reach out to these people is really to use our channel partners, use people who have used Rezio before, through the tourism boards, through our other channel partners, to be able to share with them that, you know what, this solution really helps them. And that's what we want to be able to do, to share with all these rural communities.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
There is some, can I
sure.
give some feedback about these questions? So we have this kind of path that can put all kind of products together. So I understand that probably the rural communities, their products are not that well known or not so like too well known for international travelers. So we have this kind of path that can packaging all kind of elements, all kind of tools together, and there are big attractions inside this package. So we can actually attract international travelers who might look for big attractions, but in the same time, they find all those rural activities to experience. And they don't even have to pay additional money for the rural activities because this part already is inclusive.
Okay, thank you for the answer. There is a private message to me from Ming Ming. I'm not sure if this is Ming Ming from Taiwan anyway. It's a good question for every one of us. He said, situations are always changing all the time during this pandemic. How optimistic are you about the future of travel and tourism industry? Should we still
mistakes?
Optimistic, like positive
optimistic.
thinking?
Okay.
Yeah. How are we keeping that passion, keeping that positive thoughts about our industry? So Yue, would you like to take this one first?
I think we are already positive enough so that we are still here right now. So I'm quite sure that we have some, everyone has some reasons that why you still in this industry. For me personally, I see travel is sort of like it's not travel, but it's part of our life. And I believe a lot of people have the same thoughts. So I truly believe that in the future, no matter if there's COVID or not, people will still keep traveling.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my 2 cents.
And how about Julia?
For me, I just started my career, so and I was hit by COVID this hard. So I'm still in the middle of, finding the balance between the optimistic future and my current frustration. But I have to say that in the long run, the travel industry is definitely that would be there, and the demand will come back because people missed traveling so much. So let's take a look at the United States. When people get vaccinated and they started traveling like crazy, you can see like they take flights to Europe, to Las Vegas, to Mexico, all this stuff. So it's coming, but it's just different countries are facing different challenges. So in the long run, yes, I'm optimistic. But right now, I still have to manage my own expectation as an employee. And another point is that, working at a global enterprise, you sometimes will definitely feel frustrated. Because let's say Taiwan is at this stage and our headquarters is at that stage, and we have a sort of a misalignment in the strategy if we want to roll out a global campaign, let's say, but it won't be suitable for all regions. So sometimes I feel like for companies like KKday, let's say, it's from Taiwan and it has a very strong brand awareness now. So it's a good timing for them to acquire new customers and suppliers. But at the end of the day, travel will come back.
Cool. So Melvin, I think you are optimistic, right?
Well, to be honest, I have to be very optimistic. And no matter what, I think sometimes when you look at the travel industry, and as a person who has been in this industry for so many years, right? And I speak with the students, and a lot of them are very fearful of joining this industry because of the pandemic. And it's really about us having been in this industry for so many years, right, to encourage them that, hey, this is a multi-billion industry. It is huge, and there's more money to be made. And we need to actually have this belief that travel would definitely come back. It's just about when. And that's where you need to be able to do what it takes to be able to plan what is necessary in order to get ready for the revenge travel, per se. So at KKday, we have this, one of our core value, right? It's about thinking big, think big. So we need to be able to think big. What must we do right now to be able to ensure that what we want to achieve in 1 year, 2 years down the road, when travel actually returns, we need to be able to be the first, or if not, at least the second, to be able to capture and be ready for what's going to be in the industry. So right now, where everybody is kind of suffering in the travel industry, we need to see how we can work hand in hand together with our partners, be it the travel agents, the tours and activities side, be it on the other different channels, on OTAs, on how we can collaborate. And let's work hand in hand to be able to make this travel industry big again. And that's what we do at KKday, to be able to collaborate, to help each other so that we can grow to the next level as an organization.
Perfect, perfect. All right, for me, actually, from my graduation of university, I already regard tourism, travel as my career path. But until now, what I see is that lots of, or I would say most of traditional business models cannot work under pandemic, for sure, right? But at the same time, I also see the other potential for the travel practitioners and workers. That is, actually, we're not fully belong to travel industry only. We actually obtain some new skills because of our past experiences in this industry, and then define that skill as a ability to empower people, to help people, to make people happy. All right. So it's sort of like a medical effect. We're healing people because of our works. So I would say, well, it's kind of like philosophy. So I would say, as long as we keep this passion for making people happy, bringing good life to people, as long as we have this mind, then our skills could be applied on variety of industry and working environments. So I would always encourage my friends or business partners to not be limited to travel industry during this time, but to find some new positions or new opportunities that would fit in your skill to make people happy, to, you know, be healing people. And that might be the opportunity, you know, or a bigger opportunity awaiting us after pandemic, even though we don't know where is the end of the, you know, this tough time. But anyway, yeah, stay positive and stay in touch with each other. That is my presentation. That is my sharing. Okay.
Yeah, that's also the reason why I joined a tech company, because I believe technology is a must. Like with all this lockdown situation, technologies become more and more important than ever. So that's why I changed my career from OTAs to tech company, because I think like if your technology is unique, it's easier to apply to a new market or even different industries.
All right. Okay, time's up. Thank you everybody for joining us today. This is the end of the session. Hope to see you in the future anywhere in the corner of the world. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
Happy Friday.